A retired truck driver thinks Trump cares about him. In 2016, Grandpa said, quote, "Trump has money so he won't be greedy like other politicians," end quote. Grandpa brings up Obama's golf trips when Trump's Mar-a-Lago club gets mentioned. He loves saying Trump doesn't take a salary. Grandpa doesn't comment on Trump stealing over $1.2 million in taxpayer funds. My aunt has been a nurse and cared for disabled adults for 40-plus years. She pledged an oath to heal and help people. In 2016, my aunt voted after Trump mocked Serge Kovaleski for his disability. In 2020, she's going to vote again for the anti-science president whose recklessness caused over 175,000 deaths. Another aunt has been a special needs teacher for 32 years. She's a Trump supporter despite his careless push to reopen schools during COVID. Trump has proposed to restrict SNAP enrollment for lunches her students rely on. Trump lets a billionaire for-profit chartered school champion run our education department. My aunt can't afford to retire, while Betsy DeVos has 10 yachts. Then there's my father, a girl dad. He voted for the pussy grabber in 2016. My dad says he prioritized the economy. So money means more than my mom, more than me, more than all women. Molesting women is acceptable if there's a financial gain. It was a slap in the face. My father gave an okay to sexual assault with his vote. Our father-daughter relationship has been strained, to put it mildly. My family's Trump supporters act like cult members. I can't criticize a single thing Trump does. I listened for 8 years while they tore Obama apart. But now everyone must submit and shut up since Trump is the president. If that's the case, it's not. Where was the same respect given to President Obama? Obeying leaders like sheep isn't democratic. Americans are supposed to hold politicians accountable for actions. Trump isn't a king. Stop making him one. It's easy to ignore Trump supporters when they're nameless and faceless. It's easy to dismiss pro-Trump trolls on the internet. It's easy to tune out chanting Trump lovers at a rally. It's easy to think Trump fans are a tiny minority. It's easy to write them off as ignorant, selfish, racist, and bigoted deplorables. It's devastating to see those deplorables are the majority of my family. The Trump supporters have faces I loved my whole life. They're people who raised me. They're people I share fond childhood memories with. Yet they're racist and gung-ho about voting for another 4-year Trump dumpster fire. My mom and I have become an isolated island in a sea of Trump support. We've learned it's not our place to justify the Trump supporters in our family. It's our job to confront and correct pro-Trump relatives for the hate they speak. It's our duty to defend the people of color, LGBTQ community, women, and religions that Trump supporters denigrate. I could have forgiven, not forgotten, but forgiven my pro-Trump family members for their humongous mistake in 2016. But there's no damn way I'm forgiving anyone in 2020. There's no excuse to vote for this madman again. If you're related to or friends with Trump supporters, it's time to speak up. Don't be afraid to confront people you love for their racism or sexism or any ism. We must ruffle our narrow-minded family's feathers. Everyone must be ready to make pro-Trump relatives uncomfortable and ashamed for backward views. If not us, who will? Being quiet and tiptoeing around politics makes us complicit. Donald Trump isn't a so-called political issue to avoid discussing. He's a moral issue. We won't make progress as a nation if Trump-style rhetoric isn't challenged head first. Have tough conversations before November. Use your strong voice to denounce hate and fake news. You may enlighten your family, or not, but try. And vote your heart out this election season. Yeah. And thanks again to Kay for, where am I, for sending that to me, written by Molly Gray. And she spells it, if you're going to look her up, Mollie. Molly Gray. Thank you, Kay. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now